So then I proceed to propose a question, which is that the report on public petition regarding insecurity in Saku constituency and the larger Marsabit County be now read a second time. Actually be adopted. I'll give the first shot to the Honorable Raso Ali, sorry. Honorable Raso, member for Saku.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity. Honorable Speaker, first of all, I want to thank you and your office for having caused this particular report to be tabled, and for this committee of national administration to have been facilitated to visit Marsabit to see it firsthand for themselves. Honorable Speaker, the urgency and gravitas of some of these insecurity issues, had we had enough members in the House today, we'll have illuminated so much. Honorable Speaker, I think the motion that follows on from here, tabled by Honorable Sankok, is also about insecurity in this country. Honorable Speaker, as somebody who has worked in security for many years, I am convinced, unless that attitude is going to change, it's as if Kenya is likened to an animal farm, that some regions are important, some are more important than others. Some people are important, some are more important than others. What Honorable Mauka Maore just said, if some of what has been recommended will be implemented, this problem, 90% will be solved. Honorable Speaker, I do not want to go bit by bit into what has been tabled by the committee, but I thank them for this report, and at some point we are going to table an amendment into the recommendation that they have given, because we have a better understanding of issues than the committee themselves. Honorable Speaker, our problem as Marsabit, and it is important, it goes on the record of this House. We have two centers of power. We have somebody sitting in Nairobi and making decisions on behalf of people of Marsabit, but also we have governor on the ground. This has caused paralysis in terms of decision making, in terms of the governor being able to move forward and address the issues of insecurity. Honorable Speaker, as we sit here today, over the last 3 days, 4 people have been killed. One is Mata Wako, who was the chairman of Peace in Marsabit. Mzee Isako Golo, a businessman, was gunned down in Marsabit town. And also 2 other young men were killed just around Marsabit town. Honorable Speaker, if this killing, the displacement, the effect this has on the people of Marsabit does not create any tension in the psyche of the Kenyan people, then I don't know what will. Honorable Speaker, there are a few issues that we must bring forth. One is inequality. Inequality that is precipitated from the national government, where all our resources that is directed to the county of Marsabit just goes to one constituency. All employment from the national government goes to one constituency. That does not in any way give us the privilege to say that the county should do the same. The county must provide equity and equality to the people of Marsabit. So is the national government. Honorable Speaker, over the last 2 months, 2 sub-counties were created in Marsabit. It has created a lot of disquiet because counties, sub-counties is about sharing of resources. It is about employment, and yet others are still waiting. Since 2017, when sub-counties and small administrative units like locations, sub-locations, and divisions were created, to date, they are yet to be gazetted. They are yet to be operationalized. But yet, sub-counties can just be given and everything is done for them. And I think the people of Northern Kenya are watching that this government of Jubilee, it is a government that is almost perpetrating inequality, discrimination, and also marginalization of people who actually supported it. Honorable Speaker, I want to finish by thanking the committee for this report. It is a fairly good report. I don't want to go into the literature, but I want to say a final thing. If the government in Nairobi or the national government think that Ukur Yatani, the CS Treasury, is Marsabit, and Marsabit is CS Ukur Yatani, then they will get everything wrong. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Okay. Now, let's get to Honorable Jaldesa Dida. Just to warn you, Honorable Jaldesa, that you have about 3 minutes. So you will contribute for 3 minutes, and therefore you will have another, some of your minutes taken to the next sitting.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for your kind consideration. Indeed, I would have really wished to speak to this matter, finishing my entire 10 minutes.
You will?
Yeah.
You will, so just, you know, whatever you do now, you will have a lot of time remaining in your bank.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would like to start by saying that a day like today, I really would have wished Honorable Koinange was alive. May God rest his soul. Because, Mr. Speaker, clearly you can see the lack of interest and commitment portrayed by the leadership of the committee. Mr. Speaker, we were in a panic moment because there was nobody until my sister Halima came in to save the situation from the committee to table the report. That clearly tells you that indeed there is a lack of seriousness. Indeed, it clearly tells you that the lives of the people of Northern Kenya doesn't matter in this country. Mr. Speaker, I went through the report, and I want to, in a way, differ with my brother, Honorable Raso, when he said it is fairly a good report. I took a lot of time, Mr. Speaker, to go through this report page by page during the recess. Mr. Speaker, in my view, the report is so shallow, it is vague. Mr. Speaker, the report did not answer the question, or rather, the prayers sought by the petitioner. Mr. Speaker, the petitioner was very specific in his prayers. Number one, he was seeking the government to solve the boundary dispute, especially around the areas of Orandile. Mr. Speaker, his prayers were for the recovery of the stolen guns of NPR. That is a government gun stolen by people who were known. Mr. Speaker, the report was very biased. I got an opportunity to read.
What is your point of order, Honorable Member for Marsabit? Honorable Women Member for Marsabit, what's your point of order?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity.
No, I've given you opportunity to, on your point of order. What is it? What's your point of order?
Not point of order, I think.
Yes, let me hear. I probably will pick something from it.
Mr. Speaker, Kenyans are losing life.
It's not a point of order.
Okay then.
I would make a request, Honorable Member, because I gave you on a point of order, because I wanted you not to contribute, because we don't even have time. It's actually reached the time that we had talked about, which is 6 o'clock. If it was a point of order, I would take it. But if it's contribution, you definitely will have an opportunity to speak to it when we resume, probably Tuesday. You'll have your opportunity. I know you really were interested to probably speak on it. And the Honorable Jaldesa, your time is over.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Your time is over. Just to be very clear that you will have the remainder of your time when debate resumes. And for the Honorable Member for Marsabit, you'll also have an opportunity to contribute on this particular. I know it's an emotive thing, and many members from that region. I also know Honorable Wario Gufu who wants to speak. You will have your time. So we go now to the next order.